Shazam! Hello, hello, hello. Oh, I hate having to keep the laptop open, but I got no choice today. And did I post the link? I did, didn't I? Yeah. So, Jacob, you can grab the link from there. I know Ryan won't be on screen. He's feeling pretty under the weather. And as you can see from the top down, I still got the puzzle down. How you doing, Mama Lego?
Hello.
Shazam!
How's it going?
Good, good.
That's good.
Feeling about 90% better.
That's good.
Still, a little tickly in the throat.
Fair, fair.
But yeah, wiped out the whole family with it. Geez, who would have thought the pandemic was contagious? Why didn't they tell us this stuff?
Right?
There should have been some education. There should have been some news broadcasts.
Yeah.
How about some shots in arms, man? I wish I could have been prepared for this.
Right? You think?
Second time around for me too. It's like,
Oh wow.
And Ryan's been testing. He keeps coming up negative. I go, I don't care what your tests are telling you, man. It sure sounds like you got it good. He is dying. He's a running faucet.
Oof.
He's got, tissue paper up his nose just to stop it from draining out. Oh man, he is just suffering so bad.
Oh man.
It's like if he doesn't have it, he wishes he probably had it, because it's like, I don't think COVID is as bad as what he's got going on right now. But yeah, I don't got a lot this week, but to get some interesting things. FedEx actually, okay, it's funny. FedEx was supposed to, well, they did. They apparently attempted yesterday. I think they did their regular hit and run and didn't make it. And then I call them and I say, okay, I'll come pick it up Saturday, right? And sure enough, this morning, what do I see at 10 o'clock on my phone? Out for delivery, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you son of a gun. See, if I had gone to the depot when they opened, I would have been wasting my time, because it wouldn't have been there like they promised it was the night before. Because so our daily deliveries get back to the depot around 7 o'clock at night. And if the driver hustles, it'll actually be there at 7. And then I could pick it up the next morning. But I didn't see it update overnight. It's like, oh, you know what? Either he got back late or they never took it off the truck, and he's going to take it out again for another attempt. It's like, oh. It's like, guys, I'm willing to save you the trip. I'll go get it. All right. And it's like, I wasn't even going to call. It's like, when I told my wife, like, yeah, they screwed me again. She goes, oh, they trying to deliver it again? I go, yep. But they actually got me today, and I ran out to grab it.
Nice.
Yeah. So I was pleased about that. Look at that beautiful puzzle, eh?
I saw someone post that Staples has them on sale, and like a part of me is tempted.
Way.
But
how much?
For like $13.
That's better than Lego. Shoot.
Yeah.
Well, especially if it's local to you, then great.
Yeah, I'm tempted, but I don't know. I'm kind of in the mindset of like, I'm trying to like not spend anything at all unless absolutely necessary for that trip I'm wanting to make.
Okay, so. Yeah. If you want to burn a day of your life, this is the way to do it, I tell you.
Yeah, I saw that you streamed a few times. I wasn't able to pop in, but I saw that like you streamed quite a bit, so I assumed that it was quite a process.
Well, the last time I built one, when I built my first one, the one with all the Lego figures,
Mm-hmm.
I should have showed you. It's on the back of the poster card.
It's all
But
good.
I mean, that was something like 20-ish hours at least, or more. I tried to look up my old streams, and for some reason, the control pen was only showing me 5 from that stream, and it's very possible I either accidentally removed it or it's under a different name.
Hmm.
But it's like, yeah, I mean, this was 20-ish hours all in, and it's like, it wasn't as bad, but I'm not a puzzle guy, so for me it was agonizing. And
Fair.
I would only say it was fun in the last hour and a half when I just had the horrible section in the middle to do.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the hardest ones because they're lowest contrast between the color differences. Whereas these ones on the left, they're pretty easy. The ones on the right were pretty easy. And this was just murder. And it just felt like pulling teeth for a while until I got to that last hour and a half. And it's like, oh, now it's just all coming. You can pick it up and pretty much drop it right away. But puzzle people, they're going to like it. My mom's going to love it. She hated the white one, though, with all the minifigures that I gave her the first time. So
Okay.
hopefully she likes this one better.
I was looking at the paint can one because that's what online it said locally was on sale for me.
Right.
So I don't know.
I almost
used to be
bought
into
that
puzzle.
one, but when I saw this one,
Yeah.
I preferred this one.
Yeah.
I mean,
Fair.
to me, it screams Lego. Where it's I look at the paint can one, it's like, but that yellow one, the yellow heads, that seems painful. Why would anyone want to do a monochromatic puzzle? I mean, you're gonna be looking at every piece, yellow heads, and looking at the different. I'm hoping it's a million different faces and not like the same one all over the place.
I don't think it is.
I mean, there's been a lot, 2 or 3,000 variations on the yellow face print, so I'm hoping, they've got some good coverage on that. But there's a puzzle I want that they don't show in Canada, and I don't think it's out yet, but it's going to be a Target exclusive. It's the Classic Space logo, but when you look at it, the image is done with the minifigures.
Oh.
So the blue is done with blue minifigures, the red line is done with red minifigures, etc. Yeah, and I would like that as a poster, even if it wasn't a puzzle. I would, give me a poster and I'll frame it. But
I see people glue together puzzles and whatnot, and then use that as a poster.
Everyone says that. I know a lot of people do. There's actual, goop type of puzzle shellac that you can put on this stuff. But what bothers me, like I look at this and you just see all those puzzle pieces, and that's what bothers me. Give me a poster of this print.
Yep.
Because I'm actually I took some high quality photos, and I did it just slightly off angle so I didn't get the gloss. And I use this as a background, and then I did some color variations on this, and that's how I get my new backgrounds for my live streams. And it's a great image.
There's no way you could take that puzzle and just take it to like some sort of photocopy place, right? And get your poster that way.
Again, you're going to have all the puzzle.
Shoot, yeah.
Which I think makes it look like, when I'm looking at it right now, it looks so busy because I see all these puzzle pieces. Some people love seeing that. Me, it's like, I'd rather just see the colored bricks.
Mm-hmm.
And there might be someone who's got some high def photography, of this original. Actually, I bet you if you contact Chronicle Books and say, I want a press kit, they'll give you like a PDF or maybe some high quality JPEGs or something of their puzzles, because that would be nice to work from. Well, of course, you can always just take the bricks yourself. What's neat is if you look closely, the Lego logos are all in the different orientations, and it's like, thank God the shadows. That was the key to doing this puzzle. Is the stud shadow is all on this 3/4.
Okay.
Which makes sense, of course, given a light source, but that makes all the difference when orientating the pieces. People were watching me on stream, and I'm turning them all a certain way and wondering why. Because that's actually the way they are. There is a top to bottom for every single piece. But I'll box that up tomorrow. Tonight, nice. I'll let it sit on my desk for one whole day.
Whole day, nothing more, nothing less.
That's it, and then I'll shake it up and mix up. But this one piece here, it's a flip on the flat edge there, was missing until today. Like, I was convinced, 3 days of building this, that it was just gone, because I didn't find it in the first sort. Didn't find it in the second sort. It's like, oh no, I'm gonna have a puzzle with one missing piece. And it's not like Lego's gonna help you because Lego didn't make the set.
Fair, yeah.
Hey Grant, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going, Grant?
I did fair. Let's say that I did fair, Eileen. The problem is I go into it with the wrong mindset. It's only $20, so I figured, hey, $20, I'm going to get lots of hours out of it, and I did.
Mhm.
Just dumb luck. It coincided with me getting, deathly ill, and I was going to be home a lot anyway. But hey, I got 20 hours of streams out of it. I actually prepared 9 bumpers, 9 screens for this, and did it in 6 with an average of 2 to 3 hours of stream. So hey, it
Okay.
is what it is. It came out okay. If I had to go more than 9, I would have had to go back to the drawing board because I accidentally deleted my template. It's like, because I did I take a little bit of time making my screenshots or bumpers for either new bricks or even for my live streams. I have a lot of fun making it, and for me it's easy. But then I've been around computers, longer
Yeah.
than some people watching have been alive. I mean, when I was in high school, even before Adobe, we were using something called Paint Shop Pro. And I don't even know if that's still around, but that was free software we'd get in the high schools and everyone would use it. And that was a very simple version of Adobe, which is, the king of all software if you can ever afford it.
Mhm.
Oh, I promised that one of the things I got tonight, I will be building tomorrow.
Oh.
Yeah. And that's kind of a rare thing, but it's like, I was super excited, but I won't show it yet. I will show it last.
Ooh, the suspense.
Yeah. Well, because it kind of gives everything away.
Fair.
Let me see if I can switch up my camera angles here. Oh, the computer's super slow. It doesn't like what I'm doing. Because I have a share screen waiting to come on, my whole computer is running slow as mud.
Oh,
Hopefully you guys don't see it, but for me, every transition is painful.
it looks fine for me.
Okay. Let's move.
I
Wow.
get that
See, it's not
odd
doing-
guitar jam in the background.
Well, yeah. So StreamYards gives you 4 tracks or 8 tracks now.
Mhm.
I get 8 tracks that allows me to run, which are, copyright free garbage they have. And I put it to that's like a 12 out of 100. There it is at full. Just so there's audio, and I found it really handy, especially during the puzzle streams where there's a lot of dead silence because I'm focusing. And
Yeah.
it's good for the algorithm to always be hearing something. Because people used to, and still do, fish tank streams or fire burning streams that are live. Or starlight streams where they got telescope aimed at space. There's no audio, and for a lot of people that means no interaction, right?
Mhm.
And YouTube will deprioritize stuff like that. So just having that little bit. Some people dig this stuff. I don't like any of them. I'm just hoping that it catches on and they start putting some real tracks in there. Like this is
Okay.
night driving. Let's see. But some of them are annoying. Here's lo-fi. Now I don't know if that's because I got a paid account. I'm guessing.
Yeah, I haven't really played around with mine yet, so
There's
I
all
couldn't
kinds
tell
of
you.
new features that they keep promoting. But I would say of the 8 tracks, like none of them are very good. And you could run them in. I basically run it in an endless loop. It'd be smart if you could tie them together, but they haven't figured that out yet. Wow, it's slow. I'm just watching round and round. The rock is least annoying to me, and then what I do is I just put way down, just so it barely registers. And what I figured out is when I live stream, especially the longer streams, I put my Apple AirPods in.
Yep.
And I can wear them under the cans, and it it works pretty good. Oh shoot, I turned it on by doing that. But yeah, that was a little trick. It's that, or I could run YouTube in the background. But you know what I found? Jordan was listening to one of my streams, and he goes, "You're listening to Luke Combs." I go, "Excuse me?" He goes, "I can hear it." I don't know how he can hear it. And I'm pretty sure I had the AirPods on under these. That means my microphone's pickup is so good. It's picking it up through this. It's like, oh, I gotta be careful because I haven't been nailed yet that way, but
Yeah. Could happen.
it could happen. And I've tried 3 times to change my screens. Let's see. All right, we'll use top-down view. I don't know what's better for this anyway. I have wanted what's in this probably 3 months now.
Is it a Hot Wheels?
Well, shoot, we could end the stream. Everyone go home. 100% it is.
Oh, nice.
Well, I mean, I put the Hot Wheels logo in the thing too. Because while I'm not necessarily seeing a pickup on the actual views, I'm getting comments, conversations that people are starting with me. So it's kind of, especially from the Facebook, people watching on the Facebook. I'm getting weird spikes on Facebook, which is another reason I just won't stop streaming. There's no point. It doesn't cost me anything to triple stream.
Mhm.
I know someone was shocked I was still streaming to Twitch. It's like, usually I get nobody, and then some nights I get a few, and then I get shocked, and I'm pleased. But yeah, this is what should be, and you never know. And that's the problem. As you can see, it had eBay, some eBay branding. So clearly, this person does enough eBay business that they pay for some eBay packaging. But yeah, it's one I've been wanting. And I don't know why it's been so hard to find any locally. I hate cutting tape because as soon as you cut tape, instantly it dulls your knife. You could tell this. I'm opening it upside down because the tape's the other way.
Hey, 306 bricks. That's so good.
Hey, 306. That's okay. Jacob very kindly is keeping me company. Let's see. Oh, and I visited Rocky's group. I'd already been a member of it. His new Lego Canada events and stores group. That's not the exact name, but all those words are in there. It's a new spin-off from the main group. I guess to allow for the things he doesn't allow in his first group. And I noticed that he had posted a link to one of my streams. And so I asked him, hey, can I link my stream to it? And he said, yeah. It's like, cool. We'll see how long that lasts. And it's not that we don't have a good relationship. I mean, it's been on and off over the years. He's a nice guy. I've never said he's not a nice guy. Hey, OBR, how you doing? I missed you 6 o'clock. But I'm hoping you've still got it posted so I can play catch up.
Bricklink's been okay, 306 bricks. It's kind of been quiet, but that's fine. Other than that, pretty good. Thanks for asking.
Yeah. Still gonna keep it up? Keep going with it?
Yeah,
yeah.
I haven't closed the store or anything. It's just there. I've just been adding more parts than sets.
See, that's the nice thing about it. It can be the most passive thing you do. You just update it once in a while and see if something happens. And if it doesn't, usually it doesn't hurt you to leave it alone.
Yeah, it's just a side thing, really.
So this guy did what appears to be a really good job of packaging it. I will be opening them eventually when I get to doing each of the builds for these Hot Wheels. But yeah, it's just nice to finally have an actual Hot Wheels for this one particular car, and I don't know why it was so much harder than the others. They did a really good job shipping. I paid more for the shipping than I did for the car. Not a shock. but I was sick and tired of searching.
Fair, yeah.
Ooh, all right. Happy guy. I'll have to make sure he gets some good feedback. And you know what? If I do that, there's the car.
That looks okay.
Yeah, and it's, let's see. So it's the match for Street Rodder. Yeah. So it's the match for that set, which doesn't come with a Hot Wheels car.
Okay.
So, and it's got, you know, the grill in the front and the header is on top, you know, 8 or 12, looks like 8. But I finally have one for this car because every other set I was able to find lots of them. You know, I probably have like at least 8 for each of those sets, including the ones that come with 2 of the sets. This one doesn't come with one. And it's like, yeah, I finally have one. Didn't pay an outrageous amount. Larry Woods, it means something. I think, oh, Larry Woods was a builder of real cars, if I'm not mistaken. Someone will probably correct me on that, but I'm pretty sure Larry Woods had designed some hot rods for real. I think that's the whole point. So for me, this is a big deal. For most people, it's like, whatever, right? But I'm very happy to finally have that in the collection. And I've kind of stopped actively hunting the Hot Wheels now until I can get to, you know, the toy and hobby shows. But
Right.
it turns out most of them in Ontario run on Sundays. That's a working day for me now.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God, why did I have to discover this hobby so late? But yeah, so super happy to have that. Hey, Aaron Walsh, how you doing? Oh, and the reason I did knit new bricks today is because earlier, let me get rid of that. We don't need the overhead. FedEx showed up, right? So ta-da! Where is it? On the bottom. Don't want to dox myself accidentally. I've had to edit more than one stream afterwards. But yeah, so second delivery temp, they got it to me, so I'm a happy guy. This is a partial shipment. Everything I really wanted is probably going to be in a couple weeks.
Okay.
But this got me the gift with purchase.
The promos.
Yes. My first one. So, oh, look at that. Box is perfect.
Nice.
But I didn't have to do the keychain thing because I was actually able to order something that I liked. Yeah. It's funny, though, because I did go to my daughter and I go, hey, you want to pick out a keychain? And she did. And there was only 4 on the website at the time. And actually, that mat's kind of cool. There we go. Yeah, there was 4 at the time. She had 2 out of the 4. What was left was Chewbacca and something else. She chose Chewbacca. And I used that as a starting point even before I went online. And it's like, okay, let's see, what am I going to get? Because there's all kinds of stuff I wanted. And it's like, oh, cool. And I got a couple more of these coming. This is the personal collection one. And it's like what I needed to make this order happen to get this. Everything else was future order, back order, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
this, and it's like, yeah, Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner. I'm hoping we see lots under the Looney Tunes. I mean, the nostalgia thing alone, I think they look great. What
I
a
remember for
fun
the
looking set.
longest. Oh, sorry.
No, what was that?
I was saying I remember for the longest time it was rumored to be Bugs and Daffy, and I'm like, what? It caught me by surprise when it was Wile and Roadrunner because that kind of
See,
seemed
here's
like
something. When I heard that probably the same thing you did, but what I had heard was Bugs and Daffy were going to be a show exclusive. And I really hated hearing that because it's like, okay, we know they're going to go like crazy, but I don't know. Didn't they just have the San Diego Comic Con, or am I wrong? I know there was a Hello Kitty show exclusive that's now available on some of the Bricklink stores. That tells me there was at least one show out there. So I don't know, and I haven't been hunting this year. So
it's in July.
is it in July for San Diego?
Yep.
Okay, so it's not San Diego. So someone's got a Hello Kitty blister pack, which apparently was this year. I could be very wrong, but I've seen it in a bunch of places. And that was actually on Bricklink. Um, and it's the typical show blister pack, which is just a clear clam shell that honestly anyone could reproduce if they had to. It's got the cardboard backer and then I guess the parts for Hello Kitty. But I'd seen a couple of photos sent to me. It's like, oh no, man. But I'm not hunting like I used to. If it's not part of a natural purchase, like me getting those other sets that are coming down the line, that's a natural purchase. No sweat. I'll do that any day of the week to get this. I will not kill myself to get this. But you know what? As I discussed last week, this taxi set, promo or not, there is a community of taxi collectors who will collect anything related to taxi cabs, especially old style taxis.
Mm-hmm.
They'll eat stuff up like this. And you know what? The fact that it's a nice box and not one of those stupid yellow boxes. I'm hoping we never see another yellow box with the cutout with the insert paper.
Oh, yeah.
They just don't feel like a premium reward for being a loyal customer spending money on Lego. This, look, it's a nice little box. It's solid. And you know what? It's dense even. It doesn't feel half full. Like that feels pretty
Mm-hmm.
fair. 163 pieces. The buy-in for this isn't great. I
Nope.
don't, you know, but what can I say? It does look nice. I'm glad I got this one for the collection. This is one to be opened, so this won't be sitting around. I
Nice.
have 2 or 3 more coming for sure, and I tried to acquire 2 more, but that might be falling through. People think their crap is worth something huge. It's like, I'm not here to pay for your hobby, buddy. I'll give you a fair price, but I'm not buying all your Lego for you. Sorry, not happening.
Fair. And we got a bot. Taking.
Oh, yeah, that's one of the usual ones.
Yeah.
You got a handle on that one?
I don't have anything to take it out with, unfortunately.
Oh, well then, are you able to type in the channel so I can fix that? I mean, it won't help you this time, but
There.
all right. Well, now next time, where is it? It's a suck. It sucks. I can't do this from StreamYard. What's weird is I can highlight your name and there's a star, but I don't know what that does in StreamYard. Do you have any idea?
No.
Because if I run over, because you use StreamYards, right?
Yeah, but I just don't. I just like hit the button that says go. I don't really.
Oh, really? Okay. I do
don't
find
really
my, I
look
mean, because on the 3 dots, I can sit there, say on your name, I could put you or anyone in timeout, block user. Oh, I can block user directly.
Okay, that
Look
works.
at that. Better move my mouse off that. Let's see. And it makes sense because when you run StreamYards, you're already giving, like in my case, I'm giving StreamYards access to my YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So it already has all the access it needs, to hand out punishment on people.
Yeah, it works. Sorry, I was just checking to see if It worked.
Hamiz Shavon was blocked. Okay,
Yeah, I checked in the chat. It's work. It worked.
nice, cool. I don't know if that was always there, but I don't know what that star is for. And I could put a star on anybody. Let's see, if I put a star on Mama, does it do anything? So it puts a star on there. And I don't know if it does anything in the chat. I don't know. That could be a weird feature, maybe not necessarily for YouTube, could be for Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem when you use one piece of software that's generic across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have a Get TR account. I got Parlor accounts. I got all these weird accounts, but I never streamed any of them. I should probably figure it out. But yeah, I do like that cab. That's kind of cool.
The build looks nice, but yeah, the requirement isn't good at all. Like I had a bunch of people ask me, "Oh, should I buy something that's worth investing in, or should I just buy a set just to get the promo?" I'm like, no, wait for the promo. The promo's gonna be much cheaper.
Yeah. Buy the promo from someone who doesn't want it.
Yeah.
It's still, that's a better value than buying a bunch of sets, especially if you're buying sets you don't want. Everything I've ordered is stuff I wanted, and it was just a matter of, okay, I could wait till it goes on sale, or I could do this now and get this promo. As long as I'm getting something out of it, whether it's the money and savings or I'm getting a promo, as long as it's something I want, that's fine.
Yeah.
But buying a set to get a set, and if you don't even like the ones you were purchasing, that to me is like
there's always a cheaper option.
Yeah. And I'm always surprised by how low some sellers will sell stuff for. Some people will sell you something like that for $15 if or less if you'll pay the shipping, if that's an issue, if you're not local. And then others will sell you the same thing for, I don't know, 50 or $100. Well, if you pay 100 for that, you're retarded. I'm sorry. I don't like using that word. It's not a great word. It's probably the wrong use of it, but
real quick, Eileen, tomorrow. That's what we're doing.
Oh. Whoa. I want to see this one full screen here.
I've showed it before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I did. I'm starting to get in the, because like I can't decide nowadays. I'm just like, do what the people want and do a poll, and that's what they said. And I suspect it's because of the second trailer recently released, and they know I've been super hyped for the leaks of the Lightyear sets.
Yeah. So tell me something. What year is that set then?
2010.
Oh, wow.
So that is a classic. I bought that when the first trailer came out.
Okay.
Because I was just like, yeah, okay, I want this before it possibly goes up in price or whatever. Becomes scarce. Because I think the guy I bought it from was the only Canadian Bricklink seller that was reasonable, I think. So.
I'll tell you the truth. I don't see a lot of any of the Toy Story sets, and it was a little bit before my time when I got back into Lego, and I didn't feel like going back once I had discovered it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think 2012-ish was when I walked back into Lego. So, but I was aware. It wasn't my thing. I know there's a couple themes I could kick myself for, and one that was around later was like Scooby-Doo. I was so focused on Star Wars, I bought nothing else, and so that one came in past me. It's like, oh man, I could kick myself. I grew up on Scooby-Doo, loved it, and B, it's a nice theme, some nice sets, and of course, some good value on a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And of course, it also was the basic inspiration for most of the what's that silly line, the Shadow or the one you need the cell phone for?
Hidden Side?
Hidden Side. There is like 5 sets in Hidden Side that there's a parallel set in Scooby-Doo. And it's not terribly different at all. Keep in mind, Lego made the Scooby-Doo stuff, so it's not a big deal. I mean, you're lifting from yourself, that's one thing, but if they're not even creative about it. The biplane set, there's so many sets you look at like, what? They just lifted from themselves. And if you take away the gimmick from Hidden Side, it's half kind of Scooby-Doo-ish anyway,
Mm-hmm.
But I got, oh yeah, I got Chinese stuff. And I did something that I've done only, I think, once before on any of these shows.
Mhm.
I opened it up before the show, and there was a reason for it.
Oh.
Yeah, this is the first time that I'm aware of that I ordered Chinese bricks, knowing, but I wasn't 100% sure, so I wanted to open it ahead of time, that I wasn't getting an instruction manual. They tell you, blah, 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 you'll get it electronically. For 2+ years, I've avoided any Chinese sets, and I get a fair bit of them, but I've avoided anything that said that. That's unfortunately meant that there was entire products I could never go near, because it didn't matter which seller. If the one seller didn't have it, none of them had it. And
Mhm.
there's a couple of reasons they'll do that. One, there's a savings and a weight savings. Two, 50% of the guys doing that are selling sketchy sets. And this is something to get around that, especially in certain countries like France or Italy, which are really hardcore with the stuff coming through customs. Like they're checking stuff from China, and oh yeah, we can clearly see this, and we know this is a counterfeit, whatever. So it's about 50% are sketchy sets, and then the other guys are just trying to save a buck or whatever. And I mean, sooner or later, we might even see Lego go this route. I hope not. But if Lego's ever going to pretend to be serious about saving trees, then you got to get rid of the paper manuals, right? If you're going to play that game, right? Because you know how big, like I've got the Millennium Falcon. I'm not even going to pull it out because so many manuals are on top of it. But that Millennium Falcon book is a weapon, right? It's like a 10
Yes.
pound book.
Yes.
And it's worth, $100 or $200 or something on its own, I think. It's kind of
Jeez.
ridiculous. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I hear people, I'll get rid of all my manuals. If you have your paper manual, don't get rid of them. Don't rely on Lego. You always have the digital site. Yeah. As we go down the line, it's never going to really disappear. I would think not. But can you imagine if they ever turn on, like, say, a pay window? It's not outside the realm of possibility. There's nothing stopping them.
Haven't they technically already tried to axe their instructions with the Mario line?
Well,
Like the physical ones?
okay, yeah, because you have to use their
The
silly
app.
app,
Yeah.
which that kind of thinking scares the hell out of me. But my understanding is also that I know customer service has given people links to the PDFs for even those, if you
Mhm.
cry enough. And people have done what's called URL hacking. There's absolutely ways to see PDFs for even the sets that aren't out yet, as long as they've been put somewhere on the page, even if it's not visible. With a little bit of creative URL hacking, you can expose them real easy. But yeah, I still recommend, if you got the paper manuals, keep them, because someday, hey, you could either sell them or whatever. But I don't like the idea of relying on the digital copy. But this is the first thing I ordered, knowing at the time when I ordered it, I wasn't going to, or I figured I wasn't going to get the printed manual. In which case, if I got a digital one, I'd have my wife print it at work. She's got a laser color copier, print it, 2 pages per page, and print them front and back, and that'd be good enough for me, right? So I've done
Nice.
that with a Halo set that was done like your Mario stuff, where it was all digital in the app, and I hated that so much. But I open this and I'll show you what you get out of the bag from China. The only thing different is I've cut this before. So, okay. I'll show you the back first. So there's the presentation. Nice bag. By the way, Ziploc at the top.
Okay.
And I look at this before I turn it around. If Lego is super serious about reducing paper, because you can make this plastic out of corn sugars and whatnot, biodegradable. there's no reason you can't go into a Lego store and pick up something like this, right? Especially when you see how nice that presentation is. I mean, would
Huh.
this be that terribly offensive to someone going into a Lego store? You could have a
No.
couple of peg holes in it, hang up on the, you could have it on the shelf. They sit just fine. You can have your printed pictures if you really wanted to. Why is it Chinese guys are doing what I think is the future of packaging? And just look, I mean, there's a reason that stuff is done like this and put in gray packs so the Chinese can maximize what goes out in the e-packet drops going around the world. These guys know how to maximize shipping. Lego doesn't. There's not one box I can pull off the shelf behind me that isn't half empty. This one for sure is only 60% full. Come
Yep,
on.
right there.
You could feel it. You could feel where the weight is plus the book, and that's about it. Lego is not and has not been serious about any of the environmental stuff. They are 20 to 30 years behind on most of the tech, including, by the way, the plastics. How much of that biodegradable plastic have they included so far? It's still pretty much just the trees in the extras pack,
Mm-hmm.
as far as I know. 20 to 30 years behind. It is a running joke. And then you hear them say, "Oh, we're going to be XYZ by 2035 and XYZ by 2050." Are you kidding me? Why am I seeing the Chinese beat them? There's nothing wrong with that presentation. That's ziplocked at the top, like I said. Everything you could put your UPC here, any legal things, any text that they would normally put on the bottom of the box.
Right.
Nothing wrong with it. That's thicker than the plastic for bagged cereal. If you buy cereal in a bag, it's supposed to a box. It's the future. So you open it up. Remember, no printed manual, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I opened up and went, "Oh, I'm really impressed by this, right? Really nice." So first thing you get, because I went to the Chinese seller, I said, "Hey, I don't have the manual." It's the first thing I did. I'm not complaining. I said, "I don't have the manual." And an auto reply comes up. Look at the card that came with your shipment. I go into the box and I just cover this up. So there's codes here, QR code and a UPC code. The UPC is not really UPC, but the digits on it, you go onto their website, you can get the instructions, PDF, boom. And I was a little worried, like, oh, Chinese sites, this and that. Yeah, can't terribly read it, but it's not that difficult either when you go to the right link.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a little kind of legend for your parts on the back. Really great. The length, 4 length for a Technic beam, like whatever. Pretty cool. By the way, the website was perfect. I grabbed the link, got the PDF. But I'll show you this, and then I'll show you the PDF as best I can, because it's going to kill my machine.
It's all
So,
good. All good.
by the way, numbered bags. You notice that's a Ziploc?
Mm-hmm.
Numbered bag, Ziplocked for... I can't remember how many bags are supposed to be in this. Bag 10. Hopefully it's all there. That was it. Another bag 1. By the way, the bags have nothing to do with the manual. I know that for a fact because I've already read that, and I think it's on the card too.
Okay.
3. There is nothing wrong with that presentation. And all those bags that we cut, those cellophane bags, by the way, cellophane, the worst of single-use plastics you can ever get, right? Some of them you can actually, if you got a heat sealer, you can actually reseal them. But most of us don't have a sealer to do it. 5. Let's hope that's a 6. Should be given the orientation. 8. One of these is a 7, I hope. There's an 11. That's a 9. And so, oh, you know what? 7 is there. I counted it as a 1. One is a tiny one. So, and you get, a black clone of a Lego. There's a slight variance. You can see the difference, but it is what it is. It's a copycat.
Yeah.
Not a big deal. The only thing is, any of these copycat ones, honestly, I've almost always find they're just not good. Like they're not, they don't have the same strength.
Hmm.
So, resealable individual bag switch. For some people, you'd find that very useful. I'm not sure why they're numbered, since they very specifically say it's got nothing to do with anything. I know I read that somewhere. Oh, the numbered bags have no bearing on order of build. Please just follow the instructions to build your set. If you have any questions, just feel free to contact us. By the way, that's probably the best English I've ever read from any of these Chinese sites, right? That's pretty good. But this is not a bad idea. You put Lego in this corner, I'd pay full price.
They came close to doing that, didn't they, with the Bricktober packs last year?
Yep. Yep. And we've already got poly bags, so it's not like people are adverse to getting Lego in a bag. But how big, right? What's the biggest yet? I like the Lego VIP promo. What was that? 100 to 200 pieces? Nice bag, that size maybe.
Yeah.
But this to me is the future of Lego packaging. I'd like to see them pull this off, because this impressed the hell out of me when I saw it. Oh, look at Mama Lego. She is.
I want to guess it's Star Wars.
Makes sense, right? 90% of what's behind me, that's Lego Star Wars.
Well, I'm just looking at the color scheme. The first thing that comes to mind is Gunship.
Oh, okay. I like the way you think. That's not a bad way to think. And there is absolutely a gunship I would probably consider if I didn't already have a real one to build. Because there's a Chinese one that's better.
Mm-hmm.
But I know 100% that one is a lift of actually someone I know's mock. It's like, oh, because he contacted me when his photos started showing up. No, sorry, I got that reverse. I contacted him when I saw photos he had uploaded to Lego Ideas 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I seen your photo somewhere. He goes, where? I go, on Alley. He goes, no. I go, yeah. Did you post your design to Reworkable? He goes, yeah, I had it up there for a month and then I took it down. I go, that's the problem. Once you upload it to Reworkable, anyone can grab it, and they will. And if they got to pay $5 for it, they will. They'll gladly pay you $5, $10, $15 for your design.
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye. But that lime green show the bags individual. Oh no. Well, the thing is, you're not going to guess it. But so here's the thing. I ordered this watching the Book of Boba Fett. I think it was episode 4. And I saw something in that episode and I flipped out and I paused it afterwards because we watch it as a family, and I paused the episode.
Right.
And I went, oh, I needed to look at this again. And I saw it, went, oh. Watch this. Now, you've watched Book of Boba Fett, I assume.
Yes.
Okay, have you completed it?
Yes.
Because there was 2 different episodes. And what I will do is...
Oh!
Yeah! Now you can see the color scheme in the parts on my table here. I can't remember what the name of that droid is.
BD something? I don't know.
They're like BD1. So this color scheme is slightly different than, of course, what you saw in Book of Boba Fett, because that's not the exact same droid. It's just the same droid type.
Mm-hmm.
And it had 2 appearances. A lengthy one where the lady was chasing it around, and it appeared again in another episode. Mama Lego says it's the Scorpion, or should they call it a Scorpion in that episode? Probably. So the origins of this robot is from one of the Jedi games.
Fallen Order.
It was a Fallen Order? There you go.
Yeah.
So I love when I saw this in Book of Boba Fett. First, it was like, yes, they're making more stuff canon, you know, because I love the fact that with all these Disney shows, they'll take from the video games, they're going to take from the
Hmm.
comic books, the novels, whatever. Anything that was a good idea, why not? It's all there for them. Lift from what you got. And the fact they took this robot, it's like, great, now it's canon, you know. And then I went online because I knew a while ago I'd seen this. And it's like, okay, this would have been a cool thing before, but I figured it's really cool now to be able to build this. It's probably been available for most of the last year.
Hmm.
There you go, Sidon Scott, Fallen Order. So he confirmed what you were saying.
Nice.
I couldn't remember which game, but I just remember I call him the backpack robot because in the game he's on the back or on the shoulder, and then you send him off to do certain duties that you can't normally do. He comes back, and then you keep wandering around in your 3D world.
Hmm.
So when I saw him in Boba Fett, it's like, oh, this guy's too cool. And I can't remember. There's actually two versions that I could have found of this. One was about, I want to say 700, and one's about 1,000 pieces. Don't ask me which one this is, because sure enough, the garbage website doesn't even tell me. But I figured this was the superior of the two looking ones, so it's like, yeah, this will be kind of cool. So I'll actually build this tomorrow on the stream. And you said BD1, so I'll double check with StarWarsFandom.com or something, and I'll look under droids, and they got a section with 20 droids. There you go. Mama Lego says it's BD1 as well.
Well, I'm just thinking that it's gonna come in that Starfighter set, so I'm just looking. Might say in the description.
Really? So they do? They made a little minifig for it?
Yeah, and the Mandalorian Starfighter set that's coming
Oh man! I mean, I was gonna buy that set anyway,
out.
but it's like the thing is, I hate these tiny, tiny, tiny little things. Like what was that one with the nose cone? That little droid.
Oh, Dio.
Dio, which of course appears in only one movie, so he's never going to be popular. We'll see variations on him in other shows, I'm sure, in the future, but or maybe not, because we don't have anything that far in the future for Star Wars, right? Kenobi's
No.
the past. Kenobi is, even before Empire Strikes Back. So, yuck. Although I'm looking forward to that show. I think that's coming soon, right?
Yeah, May
Kenobi?
25th.
May 25th. Oh, that's going to be a hell of a month. You're going to have May the 4th, and then you have Kenobi, so that's going to get a lot of press. And we all like him. And apparently Anakin is in that too, at least if not flashback scenes actively. I don't know.
Yeah, they said flashbacks, I think.
I don't care. I'm just glad to see him. Hey, I'm glad he's willing to do it, because he's taking a lot of crap too.
Mm-hmm.
Not just the kid who played the young Anakin, but he took a lot of crap too.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why. I loved him. I loved him in the movies, especially the third one. Watching him in Obi-Wan for 20 minutes. To me, that's Star Wars, just watching that duel.
Mm-hmm.
I can forgive him for the CG. Hey, Ryan. There's Poison Ivy. So what do you think, Ryan? Cool. Actually, I sent Ryan a picture of this because, I knew you likely wouldn't be on and stuff. And yeah, the day I got it, I had to open it. It's like I was super excited. I've only done it, I think, once before, where I opened up the Chinese stuff, and I just don't do it because I haven't had any problems with the Chinese stuff. It comes as described. It's usually fine. The builds are more than passable, and some of them are awesome. Anakin is in this suit supposedly in the Obi-Wan show. I hope so. I hope he's on a Star Destroyer hovering across the planet every other episode. That's what I'm hoping for. I like to see him taking his helmet off and trying to chill, have a Gatorade. I mean, I think we want to see as much Darth Vader as possible. That's what I want. So I'm going to build this, and we'll see. Let's see. So these are what I would call printless. They're bald studs, nothing on them. And we'll see what the quality is like tomorrow.
Sweet.
But yeah, having seen that TV show, it's like, yeah, I gotta do it. Gotta do it. I'll tell you the truth. It arrived in less than 2 weeks from China.
That's not
So
bad.
that is really not bad, especially given Chinese festival, Chinese New Year, all that stuff. Meanwhile, I've got 2 or 3 other really big sets from China that aren't showing any movement whatsoever, and it's killing me. Oh, by the way, here, how can I show this? Okay, if I do this screen, okay, this is not going to be great. Would you build that if you could?
Mm,
Really?
maybe.
Oh,
I
I think
worry about how much my fingers will hurt trying to pick it up.
I showed Ryan earlier. Basically, the entire bottom is cheese slopes. The build of this is basically the Yoda and Grogu builds.
Mm-hmm.
You're building the box frame, and then you're building the 6 sides around it to get that look. The only problem is I don't know how many parts this guy is, and it's a ridiculous amount of money. It's like 250 to 300 Canadian, which for a not Lego shaped set, that's brutal
Yeah.
because you can't sell it, and no one, it has no value other than your building value. And I have no doubt the bricks are fine because basically pretty much all the bricks coming out of China, the quality's right up there right now if it's new stuff. But it's like, yeah, I mean, I showed my wife that. And by the way, the colors are way off on that. Yeah, well, what you're seeing on the screen is not what I'm seeing at all. But it looks kind of small. Well, I'll tell you roughly, it's about 30. I know you're not seeing it, but it's about 30 studs tall.
You'd
Yeah,
think it would be taller.
you think well, you know what? The smallest, here's the thing. There's you'll see it in anything that has been done with the Ewoks now. You see what I call the tall Ewoks, which are about 4 feet tall.
Right.
And then you'll see other representations of them, which make them much lower below, say, a human hip. So about 3 feet. Let's see, that Ewok character is actually my favorite, but I don't like that mock. Really, Kevin? Oh, man, I love that. Yeah, and I can see a couple sides of it. But at $297, I am not touching it. And I think it's ridiculous, but he's the only guy selling it. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, here you go. This is an example of, a packing list, electronic manual. And you're going to see that for any original mocks they've licensed or for any they've ripped off of Rebrickable or similar sites. Which sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know either way on this. I'll tell you the God honest truth. Didn't care. I wanted this robot. I wanted to build it. I saw that show.
It looks cool.
It looks cool. I'm hoping it stands up, but you can see it's got a trans-clear tubes to stick under them.
It, yeah.
So I'm guessing it's either needed or advised to use it. If I don't need it, I won't use it. But yeah. So that is my little haul. But I really, really, really wanted to show off this whole bagging thing they did. Super impressed. If the build's complete, I guarantee you I'll be buying more from these guys. If it's interesting and unique.
Yeah.
It's like Lego. I think you even put on. What's the word I'm looking for? Not blast, but you could be doing stuff better.
Absolutely.
And I think they should be. I mean, it's bad enough that their customer service saves them from a lot of criticism, but come on. You can't play the environmental game when you're the last one to the table. And it's absolutely easier for small guys to pivot We see it all the time. I'll give you an example. You know, Toronto, biggest public transit system in Canada, right? Okay,
Hmm.
TTC. Absolutely true. Very slow to adopt card systems for payment. Very slow to adopt all kinds of stuff. Technology, Wi-Fi, all this kind of stuff. You go up to Markham, city north of Toronto, that 20 years ago when I was on it only had 10 buses. Only had 10 buses for the whole city. Well, because they have a small transit system, they were able to come up with digital transit stops where when you're standing at the stop, there's a pixel board behind you. Almost their entire system has it. They were able to offer Wi-Fi in every bus. Yeah, because they only had like 10 or 20 buses. It wasn't a big deal to roll that out. You can't. It's very hard to roll it out on a system of 15,000 vehicles for Toronto,
Fair.
right? When you're small, you can pivot and adopt faster. But it's like, I cannot believe how cool that presentation is.
Yeah.
And
it's packaging they can use for everything because like it's not for something specific.
For how many how many of these Lego boxes that when you open them, well, you definitely like this one. It's got the thumb hole, right? You pop that. Well, you're never putting loose pieces in there again, are you? Because they'll come out.
Well, have you tried like slitting the knife across?
Oh no, and that's how I do it.
Yeah.
But for these, I won't care because I don't keep the boxes anymore.
Fair.
And I know it bothers some people, so I'm gonna enjoy cutting these a bit. I won't do like what Jazz did at stream because I don't want to at first I don't want to damage any parts. I don't want to damage the manual. But I'll definitely, hack it up a bit. By the way, I cannot wait for the new Speed Champion sets.
They look okay. I'm still waiting for that
Lamborghini Countach I want.
Yeah.
Which one?
I'm still waiting for that one Speed Champion set that speaks to me. Like I refuse to get into it unless there's one thing that because like I just want one car. I want one and done.
And you haven't found it yet.
It just comes down to the look of and the appeal. Like I've come close with the blue one that was like last year's.
So
last year's blue one or whatever.
This was the one that made me finally pull the trigger.
I was told to get that one.
And here's the thing. This was a little more typical. I don't like all the stickers. So many of the 6 wides, they're so sticker heavy. They're horrible, And if you miss a line of sticker, then the whole car looks like crap. Here, there's only like the logo.
Yeah.
And
the headlights.
Another one with the logo. Oh yeah, and there's not a lot. It's not filthy with them. Actually, and I like the car. I like the build. I think it shows very well.
What one was it that? Just so I know for sure which one I'm talking about. The McLaren Elva. That was the one that came close.
Oh yeah.
That one's come close to me pulling the trigger, but I don't know.
So that one.
Yeah, that one. I have picked that one up in my local Lego store and almost walked out so many times.
It is very nice. And once I got the Ferrari and I was picking them up discount, then it was like, okay, I'll get this. This one, the Koenigsegg. Yeah. I watch enough of these car shows, I should know. It's still a really cool looking build, but it's not one that speaks to me like the other two did.
Yeah.
And it's like I was kind of like, why not? I don't even think I got this one discounted. Those ones I did though. And then that was a Brad purchase. That was a BTLG Bricks purchase, and I got the friends and family discount. Throw them enough business, but oh yeah, and I can be bought, people. I'm cheap. You know what? I'm glad to help out people, though. I'm glad to help promote anyone's stores, including yours, by the way. You want to pump your name?
Uh, Thunder's Brick Den is the Bricklink store. So, yeah.
And if you can, dump it into the chat. This way,
Did
because
you
people are
give me?
people are inherently lazy.
You
That's
did give
one
me a
thing I've
wrench.
learned.
Appreciate that. Okay, give me a second here. I'll grab that link.
Take every opportunity to actually type out the name.
Here you guys go and chat for those who are interested
Ooh, I gotta
in
put that
Bricklink.
back.
There's the link to my store, Thunder's Brick Den.
Yeah, Sadness. Yeah, that was the one with the no windshield.
Yeah.
Which, if you're a fan of Daily Driven Exotics, was the inspiration for Dave to take a Lambo. Did he do it to a Lambo? Yeah, he did it to a Lambo. And he took the roof and the front windshield off. So the only way to drive it at over 60 kilometers an hour is with a helmet with face shield. Yeah. Thank God he took it down to California and left it down there, because you can't, there's no point in keeping it in BC. I don't care how nice it is in BC. It's not that nice enough for you to keep it down there. Because if you watch his show, he's got a garage. The guy's finally got a garage for all his high-end sports cars, his luxury cars. And now he's starting to have even more fun with them. But it's pretty sad. His one Lamborghini, his yellow, I can't remember which one it is. His yellow Lamborghini, he just got out of the shop. He'd been in there 2.5 months in Canada at August Auto Cars in BC. In what's the wine country area in BC? I can't remember the name of it. Beautiful area though, where all the rich people live. So he takes it out for a drive. He's only had it for a couple hours, and it's been fixed up good. But he notices there's something still a little off. He takes it back to August Auto Cars, picks up the loaner car that they had, goes to get his kid. The mechanics take out his car, spun out on some turns somewhere, because apparently in BC they use a lot more sand as opposed to salt in the winter.
Okay.
And it's been unseasonably warm, and there's still a lot of sand out there. And guess what this dum-dum had done? He had turned off his traction control on the Lambo. And I don't know if that's being implied that was the reason it spun out or not. Because anyone driving, I think it's on by default, and you have to turn it off if you want to goof around.
Yeah.
But anyway, the guys had taken it out to see if they had fixed their problem, or at least to diagnose it, to see what the actual problem was. And so he's out with his kid with the loaner car. He gets a call from August Auto Cars. They wrecked his Lamborghini. He had it in 6 hours.
No.
Front end, the hood's up in the air. It's got brand new air conditioning all throughout. You know what? And it's all content for his YouTube, and he's got the insurance.
Yeah.
Every car is not under his name; it's under his company name, company insurance. It's what it's for. It's all under this film company name, so that it's all covered. Because that's how he gets all these fancy cars.
Right.
You know, it's all a write-off because it's all company equipment. That came back to bite him once when he tried to buy a car for his daughter. Bought his daughter like $100,000 car. And the insurance company said, Well, the first thing they say is no one can drive the cars unless they're like 35 or 40, or they won't insure it, right? He's got special insurance for all these sports cars. Well, the fine print he wasn't paying attention to when he bought his daughter one of those, so he had to, can't remember if it was a Lambo or a high-end Porsche or something, but he bought her something, and he had to take that car back. It's like, oh, that killed him. And I thought it was just because he was short on funds, and it's not that he's crazy rich or anything. Like, he's done okay for himself. But the guy's got like no less than 8 supercars / Lamborghini / Ferraris. He's got all these high-end cars. He's not hurting. And he's definitely knows how to both maximize his YouTube and his other things. And he's got merchandise and shirts and hats. And smart guy. He knows what he's doing. But yeah, he can't have his daughter drive any of his cars now. And she was going to join his company, and he had a position for her and everything. But it's like, if she can't even drive, what's the point? Sadness says, yeah, we use a lot of sand over here in Vancouver, BC. And it's probably better than salt, because salt's getting into the water table, which is not good for anything. But then sand has its own problems. Not to mention, it's horrible for all your moving parts on your car and anything else that
Coarse
gets
and
into it. Yeah,
it's coarse and rough, and it gets everywhere.
there's a reason sandpaper has sand in it.
Yeah.
There's a reason for it. I mean, all the bumping around like on my bike over the years, the only thing I'd never feared rain because you'd use oil on your bike and your chains, not a big deal. Sand, you get that grit in there, and then first time I rode on a beach, I regretted it, and it gets in the sand forever, and you're grinding, and it's like, and you never get it out. You clean your chains, you degrease them, take it all the crap off, and you get that one grain of sand still in there, and you can feel it when you're riding and even hear it. It's like, sand will ruin your experience.
Mm-hmm.
Can I move this any closer? Probably not.
Sweet, Kevin Creamer. Yeah, feel free to check that out whenever you want. I'm always adding some new parts whenever I get around to it.
See? KC, he admits people are inherently lazy. That's the thing. That's something I've learned. If you really want to promote whatever, you got to make it easy.
Hmm?
If you want to promote your channel, your streams, your events, you got to remove every barrier that's going to stop people from discovering or following what you're doing. Make sure you're posting the links everywhere you can. Ask permission if you think you're somewhere where it might be a little.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, some YouTubers are funny because they'll sit there and they'll ask me, "Hey, what are you doing?" Knowing full well who I am and what I do, and yeah, I got 6 streams this week, and I've done this and I've done that. Oh, what are you doing? I tell them, and they know full well, but then they'll have their mods, or maybe they won't, but their mods will just jump on me with their little power trips. It's like, dude, your guy knows who I am. He's talked to me on my channel. We're talking about this thing. Don't open your mouth. That's why I won't go back to certain channels now. It's like, go power trip yourself, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even care if they have more subs. If I'm still pulling down more streams and they're begging for money with garbage on the screen, Patreon this and give me money that, I could put a link right now if I thought anyone would want to donate a dime. I don't need it. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many guys like, I enjoyed giving you money to make you do silly things, right? That's cool. That's an exchange of service there. That's supply and demand. No problem. That's value.
Yeah.
Seeing a guy who's got the ugliest graphics on his stream. By the way, I'm using one piece of software here. This stream looks, compared to a lot of the crap out there.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy would have like, donate to my Patreon and this and that and get me to whatever number of subs. Like, your crap looks like crap. I'm trying not to say shit, but I want to. Your shit looks like shit. And then I'm supposed to support your Lego habit? I'm sorry, there's 20 other guys I'd rather support the Lego habit, and I don't even want to do that anymore. I will only donate if it's funny, or if you've really, really entertained me, not just because you're a friend and I like you. I mean,
yeah, no, it's fair. That's fair.
Gotta do something. I mean, I only got so much to throw around.
Yeah, no, I get that.
And I end up with a really bad rep for throwing it around sometimes. Like, no, I gotta be a little smarter about that. Make it worth, I need an eyebrow or a beard or something. Half a mustache.
Vomit on stream.
I need or vomit on the stream. But see, next time I'm going to donate to you, if you're still doing the jelly beans, dude, I'm going to make it like you're going to fill up on a liter of pop or something. Because I'm going, we'll make it worth your while. And like, play around
I might just have a special stream just for that, because I've kind of put them on pause for a bit because I had a few complaints saying like I click off the stream whenever that happens. I don't know.
Well, no, and it's the same reason I don't have certain people on here anymore, because I don't mind having the number of people I have and those who come around, hang and talk, and they're super nice.
Yeah.
But I had some friends come on, and then they get nuts, and I get nuts. We feed off each other, and I feed off that energy, and that's cool. But if it turns off the people I really liked in the beginning, or who have been there forever, that bothered me a lot.
Yeah, you don't want to chase people you've known or been there for a while away.
Because I'm not, I got my 1,000 subs. The only thing I ever wanted, got it. YouTube screwed me after that. Okay, don't care. It doesn't matter. Not chasing the dollar signs. There's only going to be one Ryan. There's only one Mandar. I mean, there's only one Emmosaurus. There's only these. There's 5 people to me on all the Lego stuff that's really doing anything worthwhile, money wise.
Hmm.
Getting anything out of it. I mean, she dropped her job to do it. So,
Yeah,
and I mean, really dropped her job because she's actually
earning stuff
it's
from it.
working. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, perfect. We can all make content. We can all have fun, and we can all have our communities and that. But most of us cannot drop a job. I am not quitting warehouse
No,
work.
no.
I'm not going to stop training guys on how to drive a machine because now that's kind of where I'm at now. It's like I'm not giving that up so I can
Hmm.
build every day. I complained this week about sitting in the chair 20 hours. If I had to sit in this chair 30 or more hours a week, every week to make content, to make money, no. I'm losing weight here. I don't know if you notice, I'm looking a little, I'm proud of it. It's coming off.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Nothing crazy. 16-8 intermittent fasting. So whatever you eat in a day, because before I was eating 5 meals. And that's way you should count it. Every time you eat, count that as a meal. So breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then most people will have at least 2 snacks. So that's 5 times.
Mhm.
Well, every time you eat, it's not just sugar. Every time you eat, you trigger an insulin response. Well, every time you trigger an insulin response, it's not great for your growth hormone. And there's a difference between IGF and growth hormone. But anyway, it's
Mhm.
not good for growth hormone. So if you're trying to lose weight, forget it. Because as soon as you trigger insulin response, your body wants to store fat.
Yes.
So the thinking was, okay, if I only eat twice, and don't get me wrong, that's an adjustment, but it only took a day to adjust to that. I had to find what would work. And for me, it was, well, okay, if I'm going to do 2 times a day, I eat dinner at 6 o'clock. Perfect. My break time when I work is 10 o'clock in the morning. I get up at 4:30 normally for work, and then it would be you have something, and I'm out the door at 5:20. So 5 o'clock, I'd have breakfast, and then that first break would be kind of my lunch meal at 10 o'clock. So I figured, well, you know what? If I don't do what I normally do at 5 in the morning, and I would just have black coffee, and then get to break, it's like I wasn't even hungry, and I thought it would take me many days to feel that way. No. So all the calories, instead of eating it across 5, I eat it across 2. So I'm not really taking in any less. But by the way, you're fasting from 6 o'clock at night to 10 the next day.
Hmm.
For some people, that's a mental adjustment. But once you get 1 or 2 days into it, and if you have coffee, black coffee is a natural appetite suppressant. That's why a lot of people drink it. As soon as you add milk and sugar, give it up. Because it doesn't work, by the way. That'll break your fast, your overnight fast. I'm just catching up here. I like Emma. I watch her. I wish she would do more live streams or just join a panel more often. You know what? She's so busy because she's playing the whole game, right? She's doing the YouTube, the Facebook, the Instagram. She's working that whole thing. You're right. She doesn't join too many panels. Greg, is that her husband? Greg. He's the one who actually started all that, and then he kind of bailed out of it, and she picked it up, and fans took to her. Her personality sells. She's just got a glowing personality. God bless her. Everything's working. And I've done
Mhm.
it times. I've had fun. But it's always been, 'cause I know that she's really good about. She'll say my name a few times, and the name's on the screen. Like it's worth it to donate because it's like I feel like I'm getting some exposure that way. Not a
Yeah.
lot, but it's fun. But yeah, that 16-8 thing, intermittent fasting, because it doesn't have to be a struggle. It doesn't have to feel like suffering, but it gives you like this 8-hour window, by the way, where you can eat during that window, and I've just chosen it's going to be 2 times. You might eat 10 times in that 8-hour window, but if you do that every time you eat, remember what I said? You get a little spike in your insulin,
Hmm.
and insulin. And remember, diabetes is a thing in everybody's head, right? Not just heavy people. So instead of having a spike all the way across, if I eat here and I eat here, and I don't eat at those other times, no insulin spike.
Hmm.
Oh, and water at the meals, I'll have Coca-Cola or I'll have coffee with milk and sugar. Anything goes when you're eating for what I'm doing. But for any time when I'm not eating those 2 meals, water with 2 or 3 squirts of lemon juice, natural appetite suppressant. It makes it so water doesn't taste like water. If you can't stand the taste of regular water, especially if you're stuck with tap water, add a little lemon juice, and all of a sudden it tastes like you're actually drinking something. Lemon juice is also good for killing excess fat in your liver. Big thing, especially as you get older. Take care of your liver, and it's not a lot of lemon juice, just enough so you taste it. I call it a spit of flavor,
Right.
but don't go with anything with aspartame or asulfolame or whatever that is. 0-calorie sweeteners and pops and stuff. It's great, no calorie. The problem is they still trigger insulin response. So you're still tricking your body. So your body will take your calories, store it as fat. Yeah. That's how I've learned, over the years, I've learned how to go up and down as needed. And I've decided this year I'm doing this for a reason. I'm getting back in the road shape. The intent is to get on my bike again and do Toronto to Niagara Falls.
Nice.
It's been 8 or 9 years or whatever it's been. It's like to do it at my age now, it's like, I don't know. And trust me, when I do it, you damn well know I'm going to have the longest gray beard I can have just so people can look at me. Look at that old man ride that bike. Because I do that when I see old guys on a bike and say, oh my God, look at him at his age. There was one guy who passed me on the road one time and I caught up to him. Is the appropriate word. He was 60, 63, and I was probably only 38, 39 at the time.
Hmm.
And I caught up to him and I just marveled at this guy. And I said, so what's the secret? He said, the 2 wheels between my legs. Get on it every day you can when the weather's good. If you can't do it when the weather's bad, that's fine. But we live in Ontario. Half the year you can get on the bike. He was right. That particular year was the year I lost 80 pounds by riding the bike. That was a really good year for me.
Okay.
Now, I gained half of it back over the winter. But then the next year I dropped maybe half of that. But I wasn't riding as intense either.
Hmm.
You got to do what works for you, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I won't say this is a secret or anything, because any idiot can do intermittent fasting. And then you can cater it to whatever you want. You want to eat keto, you want to eat carnivore, you want to eat vegan. You can do any of those things and still do intermittent fasting. And for anyone who might be listening, there's actually a really good reason to do intermittent fasting, or even to do a 1-day fast or a 2-day fast, where maybe you're just doing water for cleansing your system. And the side effect of that cleansing is called autophagy. I might have this sound a little bit wrong, but basically the idea of recycling your dead cells, recycling garbage cells. Your body will break stuff down, flush it out, and will reuse everything. So it's like you're going to feel amazing. Your endorphins are going to kick in. You're going to have a fat burn as a sugar source. That's the ultimate goal, I guess, is to get to a point where I'm not burning starches and sugars and burning more fats. I'm not there yet, because I don't want to turn off I don't want to stop eating all the fun food. I just want to eat less of it, So right now I can still eat anything. We had, you have KFC, right?
Yep.
Kentucky.
Well, no, I haven't had it in a while, but yeah, we
Good,
have it.
because it's horrible.
It tastes good, but yeah,
we have,
no, it's
but yeah,
breaded.
yeah. So we ordered Mary Brown's tonight. Well, guess what? I had 4 pieces of chicken, taters, gravy, their crappy macaroni salad because no one here will stomach their coleslaw. Mary Brown's has the worst coleslaw on the planet, which is too bad because coleslaw is actually pretty good for you. Anytime you can eat cabbage, it's amazing. Sorry I got on that little rant.
No, it's okay. Will Harper, yeah, I do. There is Lego all over the house, and I've just been instructed if I find any loose bits that don't belong to anyone in particular, and I can do with it as I please. So that's the case. It was just something I found around the house.
You have a single Shadow Trooper helmet, but no figure?
No.
What an odd thing.
Well, siblings. It's the best way. It's the best way I can sum it up.
Yeah, it's like I wish I could tell you what happened to my original childhood Lego, but I can't. I don't know. Anything I say would be a lie because I don't know. My it's not my sister, and I know what happened. Why I stopped playing with Lego because I remember that event. I've told that story where me and my friends had that fight. A friend had a fight, and we ended up doing 4 hours to try and split the Lego. And the parents said, "Screw this!" And I ended up with some. He ended up with some. And that was the end of Lego for me, pretty much. My parents never bought me another one, but I don't know what really happened to my Lego. My brother who's 10 years younger than me. I'm sure he might have had it. I'm sure he must have played with it. I would think. Never.
Yeah.
I have no recollection of throwing it out. It's possible my mom sold it. She did sell a lot of our stuff at one point. I don't know. That's why I've spent so much money trying to rebuy, sets from 1978 to 1982. I've tried to buy back what I had as a kid.
Yeah.
Foolish. It's fun, but foolish. Not good value. Good for nostalgia. Not good value though, because you don't get a lot of Lego when you're buying that old. And of course, you're not buying it news because that's almost impossible. And you're buying stuff that's been chewed. It's got sun bleaching. So you just accept that. Yeah, this is my memories because hey, I chewed on Lego and I left stuff out in the sun. So that's the way it was.
Will, sorry. Will, it's not stolen. I was literally told by my parents if I find stuff around the house, I can take it.
Wow.
Literally, no joke.
Straight up accusing you of stealing.
No, it's not stolen. Because my siblings are no longer allowed to have Lego. They don't have interest in Lego. I'm the only Lego guy in the house, really. So if it's clean, if it's not covered in dirt or pickled or whatever, it's right for the taking.
I love that. If it's not pickled.
I used to get mad at my brother because we shared a bedroom when I was younger, and every time I was missing a minifigure or a piece off a set, I'd instantly start looking in his stuff, and I'd find jars upon jars and throwing like dirt, rusted nuts and screws and whatnot in with my Lego pieces, and just amount of parts I had to replace. Not fun.
No.
Because he was making potions. Basically, is what he was claiming.
I mean, if my dad was alive and he saw all the toys I would lose in the park sandbox, he would probably have killed me.
That's not good.
No. I'm looking at the Hot Wheels because I guarantee you, almost all my Hot Wheels I did lose in the public sandbox. Or in school. I took them to school in my pocket. And the worst, you know how many friends you lose in kindergarten when you start taking the toys to school. You took your Lego figures. You told me that stuff.
Yeah, in elementary and whatnot. Yeah, I took him as just like fidgeting. I almost lost a figure because I almost believed someone, because like we would duel with the figures, like just like whack him against one another. He would claim that he won, and I had to give him the figure, and I'm glad I put my foot down and said no. That's
oh my goodness.
no, that's not how you play the game.
Well, it's like as kids, I know we used to smash our cars up. I mean, I had a figure eight track, but you would take your Hot Wheels and just do whatever. You'd line them up on the floor, and guy be at one, especially long hallways. Long hallways are the best.
Mhm.
And you, as fast as you can, you would do this motion like this with your arm, and it would put a wicked amount of speed behind the car, send
Hmm.
it down the hallway, and smash the other cars. But you weren't trying to smash the other cars. You're hoping to hit your buddy at the other end of the hall. Sometimes you set up a little ramp and hope it catches some air. Hope you beat him in the head. Oh, we were nasty with them. I mean, because that was all the rage when we were kids. Like even ripcord toys, like ripcord Evil Knievel motorcycles, two-wheel bike, kind of a 10 or 12-inch figure on it. Usually he was attached, but it was a ripcord toy on the rear wheel, and you would rip that cord and let him go down the hall. I kid you not. I scale kilometers an hour. I bet that thing did 60 or 70 kilometers an hour. And if you weren't hitting a wall, you were hitting your buddy at the other end, just to see how badly you could hurt each other. I won. Give me your phase 2, Rex.
No, with that story specifically, it was phase 1 Rex.
Phase 1, Rex.
No, but for those, I know we're joking whatnot in the chat, but no, nothing on my store is stolen goods. It has been, it is all just things
If
that
the
I've
Canadian government could shut down the truckers' convoy fund, so shut down your Bricklink store for hot and stolen merchandise. Oh, wait, we're going to delete this stream so we can delete the link so Jacob can keep his contraband off of Bricklink. Oh, but you know what's sad though? On Reddit, in our Lego, more than once, I've watched fights break out where people straight up accuse either other people or stores. Like, you didn't have that, and my place got robbed, and all of a sudden you got these 3 sets available. And it's like, dude, you don't know that store has your crap just because he's local to you. You don't know. But I've watched this crap break out online. It's like, you just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because almost never is any evidence. Oh, but he didn't have it beforehand. Come on, buddy. That is the worst meeting up of circumstantial evidence. I mean, horrible, horrible. I can imagine Will Harper as a kid. And by the way, this is my image of Will Harper as a kid playing with Lego. Cigarette in one hand, by the way. I don't know why it has to be a cigarette in one hand, Lego figure in the other, and pew, pew, pew. Oh, I just killed Anakin. He's mine, and then take another drag. I don't know why. It's got to be with a cigarette. But since Will didn't come online, I get to poke fun at him. No. Actually, did you see his Instagram? He posted the final for his mock for Coconuts.
Yeah, I was looking at that before I popped on.
I showed my wife that. I said, this is what my buddy was showing off because she was wondering. Oh, look at Will. Sig in one hand, probably. All the cool kids smoke while playing with Lego. Come on. Oh, who steals Lego? I hope no one steals Lego, but we know people do.
Yeah.
I mean, what was that? Actually, the UK. Well, I'll tell you, London.
Oh yeah.
And the UK. I mean, we know very specific Lego stories, but I mean, it's just bad in the UK. Period. I don't know how many people. I mean, I bet you it's 2 hands full of people that I've met through YouTube in the UK who've been directly either had their places robbed or have been burglarized with the car, or even held up. And it's like, I tell you, like, I live in Toronto. Don't get me wrong. There's been a murder every day the last week or so. 14-year-old got shot on Monday at a school, not too far from me, but far enough away. It's like, I live in a big city. Stuff happens.
Mm-hmm.
But then I hear these stories of like London. It's like, oh my God, man, it's just brutal. I mean, some of it I scratch my head. I go, okay, you're not being terribly smart. I understand promoting a business, especially if you're running sort of Lego kind of store and you've got a business where you cater and you haul Lego around the different events and stuff. But remember the Lego van that got broken into, right?
Sure.
And then the guy, his van got emptied out. There was like, 500 to 1,000 small sets or whatever. And I think they were going to be donated, but he got robbed. It was a big thing. Everyone donated. We all fixed it. And then their operation got broken into. It's a 2-floor facility, you know, I don't know, 2,000 square feet. They come in through the roof, broke in. It almost sounds like an inside job. Knew exactly where to come in. They were off camera almost the whole time, stole a bunch of key stuff and then left. Same way they came.
Wow.
When that one happened, it was like, you know what? I'm not donating to you again. I felt bad about your van. And of course, the van had, all kinds of business and Lego branding on it, whatever. It was a Target. And anyone who knows Lego knows, oh, maybe there's a good chance there's Lego in there, right? I mean, to someone who doesn't care about Lego, you wouldn't think anything of it, but you and me, we know, hey, that thing could be full of Lego bricks, right?
Mhm.
It's like, it's all in the eye of the beholder, right? Will's got it. It was a charity warehouse, but they're like a Lego business or something, because that whole place was Lego. But I remember that. And the second time around, I said, no, I can't do this. I'm sorry. And there's been a few other people, but it's like, I tell you, man, crime is crazy in certain places. I do not fear getting robbed in Toronto. I don't fear walking down the street. Even if I go over to what you might call a bad area in my city, which would be Jane and Finch.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's me being a big guy, me being street savvy, whatever. I'll walk there. I joke about it, but I'll walk there. Not a big issue. But there's some areas like, when my wife was planning that trip before COVID, her and the Girl Scouts are going to London and then to Scotland. Like the last day would be leaving from Scotland. And I'm sitting there thinking, geez, I want you guys to be careful. It's really rough in London.
Yeah.
And you guys are going to be targets. Girl Scout troop, you're all going to look alike for one, right? Because you want to keep an eye on them. So someone's going to be wearing something. Maybe it's a common looking t-shirt. Even if it doesn't say Girl Scouts, they'll all wear something. They're trying to plan the same trip now for BC since they can't go to the UK.
Mm-hmm.
And while I don't fear BC, it's like, you're still going to be a target as soon as you all wear that same shirt. They know you're a tourist. They know you're doing something. What's he saying here?
Oh,
What
yeah.
about
No,
that kid that came home to find his whole collection gone? That one, yeah, and I remember Ryan had mentioned that. Yeah.
Republic Attack, I think was his name, right?
Oh, was that the one who got robbed?
I think that was the guy's name.
And I felt bad for that kid. I felt bad. You know what? It's not the toys, eh? It's not the bricks. And even if it was a great collection and it was all your savings or a decade of collecting gone, that isn't the thing. It's the violation. And especially if it's your home, now you don't feel safe in your home. So what's in your head? Oh, I'm going to move. Where are you going to move to? Where are you going to move to that someone isn't going to do the same thing? You know what I was watching earlier today just for giggles? And it's YouTube is the funniest thing because when you watch one video, you can screw up your whole algorithm. I watched one video on picking locks. And I've watched this stuff before.
Mm-hmm.
And so what this guy's doing is he's going into Home Depot and Lowe's and other major chains, and he's buying whatever the best locks are there. So not the $12 lock you and me might buy, not the dollar store lock. He's buying the $90 lock that they have, whatever the best is that they sell. He's taking the one pin, puts it in, takes the second pin, hits the first pin, hit the second pin, hit the third pin, hit the fourth pin, done.
Wow.
And this is the most expensive locks they sell because the lock is not designed to stop anyone who knows how to get in. It's only designed to stop passive people, you and me. We see a lock, it's not worth our trouble to break into it, right? It's too much time or effort. But as soon as you know, every lock that he was doing was taking him less than 10 seconds. So yeah, it doesn't really matter where you are. Just be smart. If you have security, light up your place. Try not to be a target. Like I'll tell friends who live in buildings and stuff. I go, if you're going to bring something expensive, don't do it where everyone can see. If you got a back entrance, do it through a back entrance. If you can cover it, cover it. Don't be a
Hmm.
target. Don't give someone a reason to come after your stuff. Don't tell everyone. And if you're going to put stuff out in the garbage, make sure people can't see you just bought that new TV, that new computer,
Yeah.
right? I mean, none of us want to keep the big boxes around, but there's things you can do. Take it from an old guy who knows, as I've had enough bad stuff happen. And I like to think I'm old enough that I can tell all the young whippersnappers how to do it better than me. Learn from my mistakes. I'm old, damn it. That's going to be a whole new stream. I'm going to come up with a brand new bearded logo or something. And I have been trying to change my branding a little bit. That's why my bumpers look a little different now, and even my backgrounds look a little different. You notice I went with the blue
Yeah.
on this, and all it is just a recoloring of
That puzzle.
the puzzle piece, because that's the puzzle with a slightly different thing, but that's the puzzle. And I got all these cool backgrounds now. I can't wait to the black and white one is for a special project. I got another one there. But yeah, so I got something. It's 2022. Had to change it up. Oh, that's really dark.
Oh, that's unfortunate, Will.
What happened?
He says he won't be going to Brick Fair Chicago because he doesn't want to take. I mean, like fair, but I'm
I'll take
going.
a chance in a bad city. That really? Oh, I see. That is not the reason for me. I mean, yeah, Chicago and Detroit. I know Chicago's bad, but I'm always going to look at Detroit as being even more scary than Chicago. But that's not the reason I'm not going. And even though they're making it easier for us to cross the border, for me, it's still this big C word, Because, hey, just because I got it now, and by the way, this is number two for me, right? Had it in the beginning, 3 shots. Of course, not a cure. At least I never heard it was a cure. And I was, oh, we were told it was a cure. I don't know who told you it was a cure. I never once heard it was a cure. All I ever heard is shots were to mitigate and minimize symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
I give it credit for that because when I had it the first time, dude, that was 10 days of my life gone, but 10 real days of being sick, not 3 days and the rest are isolation,
Mm-hmm.
where we're trying to be careful and then trying to see is my daughter going to get it. And of course they got it. Bang, bang.
Fair, Will. Fair.
Ken says keeps you from dying. I assume he's talking about the shots.
Oh yeah.
What's Kevin saying here? The blue brick border matches your t-shirt. I think that's a good way to determine what color to use. Oh. Actually, I put the wrong blue background back up too. That's not the same one. This is the darker one. I think this is the one I had up earlier. So you could tell the ones where I figured out what I was going to do because it doesn't shift the bricks anymore. It just changes the hues.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. I'll change it up every episode.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, dude. Oh, yeah. I guess you haven't been watching, but a week ago Tuesday was my last working day. Got home, had dinner. My wife smoked me out. She caused something to burn on the stove. I was choking and coughing on it. And then once we aired out the place after that, dude, I start coming down symptoms hard all night. Wednesday, I didn't go to work. And yep, I tested. And then later, so did my wife and daughter.
Wow.
So it just, yeah. But I'll tell you, it wasn't as bad as the first time. And I don't know how much of that is. I've had it before. I don't know how much of that, not that I would have any antibodies left, but, not nearly as bad. See, I think in some places I don't know if some doctors or some jurisdictions did. Some people have gotten some really bad science from somebody saying it was a cure. I never once heard that. Not from anyone with any authority to talk on it. I've heard it from dum-dums. Oh, blah, blah, blah. I'm getting it because it's a cure. That's not what I heard. Usually cures take a really long time to make. It can't be whipped up in 6 months. You keep the antibodies forever, same as polio. I don't know, because it seems like 6 to 8 months and gone. But I've had a whole discussion about that before. Cybertron, transform. This is it. Wouldn't it be cool if you're getting that? You know what? I saw that was funny. It was YouTube or TikTok or some garbage, and they were clearly having fun. Someone was suggesting that when you get the shot, they're sticking something metal or magnetic in you, because then they took fridge magnets and started sticking it on, and they were fooling people into believing this crap. Well, all they did was put silly putty or something on the edge of the magnet, but you don't see that. It's all sleight of hand, right? Look, it's sticking where I got my shot. And so people are testing this out. Now, if it's bare skin, you could take like a playing card, stick it to your head, especially if you put a little saliva on, stick tongue and stick it to your head. It'll stick to your head.
Mm-hmm.
But it sticks to the shirt, it sticks to the chest. Well, yeah, they use silly putty. But boy, was it funny watching people fall for that trick, though. What? Yeah, what would you turn? Oh, this is it. Which Transformer would you turn into if you could? Oh, come on, Megatron. Who wouldn't want to be a gun?
Wasn't he a tank or anything else? Isn't the gun version
That's
like...
later. See, it shows your age versus mine.
Yeah, I know.
1983, 84, Megatron was a gun.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, he was so cool too. Most of it was die-cast metal. Then you put the extension on the front, which kind of with the muffle end on it. Then it's got the back stock, the load rest, and then you get the scope. It was such a cool toy. But in some markets, you couldn't even buy the Megatron figure. Oh, they can want Starscream. I'm not going to pretend to do the voice. I can't do it. But Starscream was awesome. All 3 jets were awesome. Thundercracker, Starscream, and I can't remember the other one. I'm so old. But what you know is Megatron being a tank.
Well, helicopter, jet.
Now, Galvatron was kind of okay, because he would still turn into a gun, but then he had the secondary mode, which was kind of like this sort of tank kind of thing. But Galvatron just makes me upset, because that's where they ruin Transformers for me. I mean, you have a movie, or you're a toy maker, and you've imported all these robot designs, or stole half of them from Takara and everyone else in Japan. You bring it to North America, you take all these divergent toys, make it one thing. I mean, they were like, Prime wasn't even a good guy overseas. Whatever he was called, it wasn't a good guy. He wasn't leader of the Autobots. He was whatever he was. But they decide, okay, we'll make the cars one team. We're going to make everything else another team. And that's what I like. It was everything else is the other team. These guys will be a good guy. These guys will be bad. We'll call them whatever. And then what are we going to do? We're going to have a couple of years of success. We're going to get Marvel/Sunbow Productions to make a movie for us. Decent animation movie. What we're going to do, we're going to kill off every character everyone already likes. Okay? Everything that's made us money for 5 years, we're going to kill them all off with the exception of 1 or 2. And then we're going to introduce all new characters because we think this is smart. We'll sell all new toys. Bombed. It's not that I shouldn't say bombed. It's not that they didn't sell well, but it wasn't what they were hoping for. They pissed off all their fans, and there was no good way to bring them back.
Mm-hmm.
There was no good way to bring the characters back.
I've seen so many toy reviewers of Transformers whenever they get around to Hot Rod. It's always when he says, "Get out of the way," you get out of the way.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'll tell you, I have fond memories of the movie. The movie, for what it was good, but you killed every character that made you money. It's like, no. I wish I could have been in on those meetings where this. Okay, we've got all these new designs because you have to have the designs ahead of time. We're gonna have this. We're gonna have that. We're gonna bring all these in. We're ready in 2 years. We're gonna have all these new toys. Do this with your movie script. I don't know if they change a movie script or if this was always the full intent. Everything changed in that movie. It's like, now after that movie it was kind of cool because as a kid you had that movie and then like a year later you had the new cartoons on TV.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to see Galvatron in new cartoons and all of his new, you know, minions, the swipes or whatever they were called. But they kept like Starscream around or the Ghost of Starscream, whatever it was. You know, they kept a few of these things around, and it was nice to have those token characters. But that was cool for me as a kid. Like, oh, look at this great progression. Well, and I wasn't so burned by the fact that they had killed off my favorite characters because to me it was a progressing story. Good stories are serialized; they grow. Because I come from the comic book fan base where, you know, if you're collecting 12 issues a year of a story of the Avengers or X-Men or whatever, or Fantastic Four, it's a progression usually. Yeah, you get different writers and different artists and things will change, but you get this arc here and you get this story arc here and this story arc here, and it all grows on old stuff. So as a kid, that is amazing as opposed to Saturday morning cartoons, which were so that after 22 minutes it began and ended and nothing changed in the next episode and next episode because
Mhm.
they're all self-contained stories, no serialization whatsoever. So when you have GI Joe or Transformers, even GI Joe, they kind of did the same. We'll get rid of old characters, we'll bring in new characters, and so each new series was focused on the new characters and the one or two movies that were done for TV. Cobra, la 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 la. Who thought that was a good idea? Serpentor. We're gonna make a genetic evil emperor type that's made up of the 10 biggest baddies from history. Oh, but he won't listen to Cobra Commander at all. It's like, oh my god, the stuff we would swallow and thought it was a good idea. Is that where the Dino toys came from? I don't know about those Dino toys. I think it's just more desperate stuff. I mean, the original the five Dinobots were so cool. The toys. Anyone who had them, they're glad to have them. Grimlock and the Flying One. Flying One being the cheapest one because it was had the least amount of materials.
Mhm.
But so much of the stories just made no sense. And Marvel was just happy to do it. Oh, you got more characters? Yeah, we'll make a cartoon. It was brilliant. Between them and He-Man and the way the cartoons drove the toys and vice versa, like that whole wash, rinse, repeat. He-Man, though, they had a problem when they were trying to do those cartoons. And I know they talked about it on the Toys I Made Us, but to pump out those cartoons, they had to have a moral story. I don't remember any of my other cartoons having to have a moral story. G.I. Joe, I mean, they kind of did sometimes, or Transformers. I don't know if Transformers ever did. But He-Man always seemed to have to end on a moral high note. And they had to teach us something. I guess a G.I. Joe knowing is half the battle. They always found a reason to tell you something there, right? But Transformers didn't do that. Or maybe I'm just misremembering something. I'm old. I'm allowed to forget stuff. I'll just play that old card. I forget. They killed off Optimus Prime. That really pissed me off as a kid. He was my favorite character. At least they brought him back. Yeah. And see, I didn't have Prime. I had other Transformers, but I didn't have Optimus Prime. My buddy did. But then I got Ultra Magnus. And I thought, oh, this guy's better. Because it is Prime. Prime is in there. The very first Ultra Magnus figure, toy, Transformer, is basically white Optimus Prime, which is super
Mhm.
cool, by the way, right? You get a white Optimus Prime, and then you're putting his trailer on him. That's even better than Optimus Prime, because Optimus Prime, you take the stupid trailer away, and it's really nothing. It's a mobile base for whatever, but you never touched it. But with Ultra Magnus, his car carrying frame of a trailer chassis, that all became part of Ultra Magnus. And in the end, you had this big armored up looking, ridiculous looking thing. And I always thought Ultra Magnus was wicked. I thought that was the only good thing to come out of those cartoons. Ken's out of here. He's got hockey in the morning. You know what, Ken? This is, I think, officially the longest episode of New Bricks. So
Yeah.
I think I'm going to let Jacob off the hook. He's probably got some more videos to edit.
Yeah, I've fallen behind on my regular schedule, so.
Well, that's on you.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is. It absolutely is.
But thank you for hanging with me, guys. Thank you, Jacob. Last plug. So
Tune in to me at 2 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. We'll be building a classic Buzz Lightyear set because I'm excited for the new movie.
Big screen. There we go.
So we're building that tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern time. That's noon General Mountain time. So, yeah, tune in for that for tomorrow. Bricklink link for my Bricklink store is in the chat somewhere. I can post it again in just a second here if it's needed. And yeah, thanks for having me on, Rick. Appreciate it.
Thanks for riding shotgun with me.
No problem.
And now I'm sorry I can't make your stream. You prick.
Who?
Well, no, I had sent out a handful of info.
Oh,
like, really? 2 hours after it started. It's okay. All right, guys. I'll catch y'all tomorrow, and we're going to build that BD1 type robot.
BD droid is what it said on the description for the Star Wars set.
We're going to build Lego. No, I shouldn't do that. That is so bad for me to say that. And I actually promoted the stream in a few new places tonight that were kind of Lego centric. But hey, I did have real Lego.
You did.
I did. That's a whole thing, where I can share. Every time I want to share New Bricks, sometimes I think, oh, can I do it here? It's the one place I don't share it ever? The Hot Wheels channels. I just don't feel comfortable even trying. I keep thinking maybe I'll just do a separate show, Hot Wheels Corner. That was someone's idea. I might run with it.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Thank you, everyone.
Take care, everyone. Have a great night.
Peace. Tomorrow, I don't have a time. Check my regular stuff. It won't be too early. It won't be too late. And we'll do at least one build stream.
Nice.
For this. But we won't do it again, that's 2 p.m. Eastern?
Eastern, yeah.
2 p.m. Eastern? Okay, I will absolutely not do it at 2 p.m. Eastern. If I run over,
if you do, it's all good.
Oh, no. I'm not. It's not about me not wanting to step on toes. It's just I want to see you. I want to see your thing. So if I'm building, I can't watch at all. So
fair.
All right. We're out of here. Peace, everyone. Now you know it's for real.